And welcome to another video on the Basic Thoughtnomics YouTube channel. I'm Chris Grosso, and for this video, similar to my last one with the Mets where I gave like a team preview outlook for the upcoming season, I'm going to do the same thing here with the Yankees. And as much as it pains me to say as a Met fan, this Yankee team is stacked from top to bottom, personnel-wise. I think they have the best team in the league by far. I know it's only a 60-game season, so anything could happen, but with this particular team, I think as long as they stay healthy, I don't see any scenario in which they don't win the division. And once they do get in the playoffs, I see them as the World Series favorite, the team to beat. And similar to my last video, I'm going to preview the three components of the team. Start with the lineup, go position by position, and then touch on the DH, giving a scouting report there. Then I'll go to the starting rotation and conclude with the bullpen. So that's where we'll go with this video. And like I said, we'll start with the lineup. And we'll start, I catch, with Gary Sanchez. And I can imagine being a Yankee fan, it's probably been a roller coaster of emotions. Watching him play these last 4 years, he showed off how good he could be when he first came up in 2016 and 2017, and really made you think the sky was the limit for him, just showing off his prodigious power, which is so rare for a catcher nowadays. And the past 2 years just hasn't been the same player. It hasn't hit for an average like he did his first 2 years, hasn't been taking as good of at-bats, has been going out of the strike zone a lot, not making the pitcher work. He had a better year last year relative to 2018. That was his worst year, but last year bounced back with the power, hit 34 home runs. Average still wasn't where you'd like to see it, but he's still young, 27, 28. I still think the sky's the limit for him going into his fifth year now. There were a lot of questions about him defensively too, but he's been working with the Yankees' new catching instructor, Tanner Swanson, and so far everything I've heard has been like rave reviews. So hopefully he can put some of those defensive issues behind him, and especially in regards to the pass balls. But for expectations, I think they're sky high for Sanchez. So that's him at catcher. First base, they'll go to Luke Voit, and I assume he's going to get the bulk load of the playing time there. I know it might be a little bit of a platoon situation. Miguel Andujar might get some reps there. I don't know, maybe DJ LeMahieu, he played there in the postseason last year. But I'm going to stick with Voit. I'm going to assume he's going to get the basis of the time there, and I think he'll give you solid production at first base. I don't think he's going to be the player he was when he came over in 2018, when he just played out of his mind, played like an all-star, but I think he'll give you solid production, like on pace with a 162-game season. I think he'll give you around like 20, 25 homers, 80 to 90 RBIs, play solid defense. So he's maybe one of like the weaker spots in the Yankee lineup, but that's not an indictment on him. It's just more of a compliment to how good this Yankees lineup is and how good the rest of the team is. So if he's like one of your weak spots, you're pretty well off, I think. So that's Voit at first base. Second base, DJ LeMahieu, and what more can you say about him? MVP candidate last year, just played out of his mind. Kind of put to bed that stereotype that guys who play well in Colorado for the Rockies, they only play well there because of the altitude and the way the air carries. But just what a steal for the Yankees. Signed him to a 2-year, $24 million deal. 100 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. Just a leader in that clubhouse. Yankees are set here, obviously. Shortstop Gleyber Torres, and this is the guy I love most on the team. And what's like not to like about him? Just the way he puts at bats together. Just lays off bad pitches, doesn't go out of the strike zone much. Just has great plate discipline, can just read pitches so well. Just goes the other way a lot, can hit to all fields. Just a budding superstar in this game. I feel like a lot of people don't know about him. He doesn't have that big boisterous personality, but he might be the best player on the Yankees, and I know they got Judge, but I think pound for pound, just offensively, defensively, staying healthy, he might be the best player on the Yankees. Some questions about him moving to shortstop this year, so we'll see. Taking over for Didi Gregorius. Definitely going to be a lot more responsibility. He's going to have a lot more range to cover. So we'll see how he plays there. But from an offensive standpoint, expect nothing but the best from him. Third base, Gio Urshela, and like what a freaking surprise. Only only the Yankees could get away with something like this. I think it's just a testament to how good Brian Cashman is. Just some of these low key acquisitions that he makes, where players just turn out to exceed expectations. I think Luke Voit is also an example of that. But just what a season for him last year. Batted 314, 21 homers, 74 RBIs. Was a guy who came up throughout the league with the reputation that he was only going to be a defensive guy, and just out of nowhere just had a tremendous season. And who knows if he'll be able to carry it forward, but the thing that I would be encouraged about if I'm a Yankee fan is that he put this together for a full season. It's not like this was just a month or a 2 month hot stretch, and maybe this is the player he is going forward. So as far as the infield goes, I think the Yankees are stacked here. And now we'll go to the outfield. And we'll start with Aaron Judge in right field. And to me, it just comes down to health with this guy. When he's healthy and in the lineup every day like he was his rookie year, we obviously saw how good he could be. Last few years, he's been hampered by injuries. And even when he came back from those injuries, just wasn't quite the same player and didn't really put up that same production like he did his rookie year. So what I'm looking for out of him is if he can stay on the field stay on the field consistently, stay healthy, because then I think you'll start to see those numbers and that production like he put up his rookie year. And obviously he won't put up those numbers this year in the 60-game season, but if he is healthy, I think he'll be able to put up those numbers on pace with a 162-game season. And defensively, just what a surprise this guy has been, just a freak athlete for his size at 6'7", the way he can run down fly balls or the way he can run down balls in the gap and make those diving catches, just a freak athlete for his size. And like I said, when he's healthy, it's either him or Glaber as the best player on the team. Center field got Aaron Hicks, and similar to Luke Voit, Gio Urshela, just one of those under-the-radar acquisitions Brian Cashman's made, and a guy who's just exceeded expectations and has played very well, and probably more known for his defensive prowess, for playing a great center field, has a cannon for an arm. Probably won't give you the best production offensively, but if he's playing that great center field, I think he more than makes up for it. And left field got Brett Gardner, and I can't believe I'm still saying that. It's back on another one-year deal, and I think there's a leadership aspect to this, and I think he is the leader of that clubhouse, has been on the team since 2008, and is still a very productive player as well. Still plays a great defense, can play a great left field, run down balls, make great catches, has shown some pop the past few years too, and has shown some more power. But then again, I think everyone has with the juice ball, and we'll see how the ball is this year. But he's just the consummate professional, always puts together great at-bats, works the count, fouls balls off, makes the pitcher work. So still back in left field. That'll round out the outfield for the Yankees. And DH got Giancarlo Notiparlo Stanton. And I have no idea what I just said. Hope you enjoyed my John Sterling impersonation there. But it's been a kind of a rocky start for Giancarlo his first 2 years in New York. Hasn't played like the player he was in 2017 with the Marlins, the year before he came over to the Yankees. Obviously last year was a disaster, only played 19 games. Couldn't stay healthy for the playoffs either. But he's still obviously very young, only 30 years of age, still well in the prime of his career. I don't know if he'll put up seasons like he did with the Marlins in 2017 with 59 homers and 132 RBIs. But still expect him to do good things. I think he'll really benefit from no fans in the stands this year. And like I said, it's been a little bit of a rocky start, his Yankee tenure, and he won't have to worry about hearing the boos if he goes through a 1-for-20 stretch or a 3-for-30 stretch. And as long as he's not like reading Twitter, reading newspapers, he won't have to hear about any of that. So you talk about someone who might benefit psychologically from this change in the game. I think it could be Stanton. So that'll round out the 8 position players in the DH for the Yankees. Starting rotation, probably of the 3 components of the team I'm breaking down, lineup, rotation, bullpen, probably the weakest of those 3, but that's not to say they have a bad starting rotation. That just speaks volumes to how good their lineup and their bullpen is. But obviously starts with Garrett Cole, the huge acquisition of the offseason. Probably overextended a little bit, I would say, giving him a 9-year deal. worth $324 million. But for the first 5-6 years of that deal, I expect him to be the guy he's been, like the guy who was in Houston last year. Obviously, just lights out, lockdown starter, top of the ace guy you want in your rotation. Has all the great stuff. High 90s fastball, wipeout secondary stuff. He's going to be the guy to anchor the rotation for years to come, and he'll be kicking off the season against Max Scherzer on Thursday in Nationals Park. Number 2 slot, I was thinking either Tanaka or Paxton, and I know Tanaka might not make the first few starts, but I'm going to go with Tanaka, say he's going to be the number 2 guy, and I'm going off the basis that he's going to be healthy coming back from that comebacker that he suffered on July 4th from Giancarlo Stanton. But yeah, it's been a very up and down tenure for Masahiro Tanaka as a Yankee. We obviously saw how good he was when he first came up in 2014. Had almost like a Cy Young caliber year until he got hurt with that torn UCL. And a lot of guys, when they get that torn UCL, they normally undergo Tommy John surgery. He elected not to do that. He elected to rehab it kind of normally. And you kind of wonder in retrospect whether he maybe should have got the Tommy John surgery and missed the 2015 season, because he hasn't been that same lockdown ace-type pitcher since. And he's definitely been good, been serviceable, but he's had some good years, bad years. Like, it's been up and down with him the past few years. His pitch has pitched good in the big spot, particularly against the Indians a couple postseasons ago. But yeah, as number 2 guy, I think he's not going to dominate, but I think he'll give you good production there. Number 3 slot, going to go James Paxton. And this is a guy who's shown the potential to be an ace in his career with the Mariners. Question with him has always been health. Never pitched more than 160 innings in a season. But when he's healthy, he has that ace-like stuff. High 90s fastball, good biting curveball, good secondary stuff. Pitched well in the postseason too. So as a Yankee fan, I'd definitely be encouraged by that. And he's shown he can pitch well under the bright lights. So like many of the Yankees, kind of comes down to health with him. And to round out the rotation, got J Happ and Jordan Montgomery. I'll start with J Happ, and I think he's going to be a serviceable starter. He'll probably give you 5-6 innings. I don't think he's going to go much more than that, but he'll give you maybe go 6 innings, 3 earned runs, give you a quality start. That's 4.5 ERA, but he's keeping you in the game, and that's the type of pitcher he is. He's not gonna dominate a lineup, but he's not gonna blow up on you and just have a bomb outing either. So that's happened the 4 spot. And Jordan Montgomery, I guess I say 5 spot, but he's been pitching really well this spring training 2.0. Just rave reviews as to how he's been doing. I missed the last two seasons. Well, didn't miss all of last season. Pitched at 2 appearances last season, but missed the 2018 season due to Tommy John surgery and most of last year. But he's come out great this spring training 2.0, and his start against the Mets this past weekend just kind of solidified that and validated that. Just looked really good. Velocity was really good. Mid-90s fastball, good slider, good secondary stuff. So he's the 5 starter right now, but the way he's pitching, he could be a 2 or 3 starter. So, and the Yankees also have good reserves coming up. We've heard good things about Clark Schmidt, the spring training 2.0. Michael King pitched well against the Mets in his outing the other day, but I'm anticipating those guys are going to be the 5 starters if they're healthy the majority of the season. So like I said, probably the weakest component of those 3 elements of the team: lineup, rotation, and bullpen. But still, I think has potential to be a very good rotation, especially if they all stay healthy and pitch up to their capabilities. Go to the bullpen now, and to me, I think this is the biggest strength of the Yankees team. Of the 3 components I'm breaking down, I think bullpens are going to play a huge role in the game this year for each team, especially early in the season when we don't know how deep starters will be able to go into the games and what their pitch count will be like. So I think bullpens are going to play a huge role. And I think the Yankees are well equipped to handle this given the talent and the depth of their bullpen. And it all starts with Aroldis Chapman at the back end of the bullpen. And I know he came down with COVID, but I don't think it's hit him too hard. I think he's progressing progressing very well. I don't think he's going to miss too many games, maybe just the first few games of the season. And when he's out there, expect him to be the lights out guy he's been most of his career. Probably not going to throw 104 or 103 anymore, but he's still pitching regularly in the high 90s. Still touch triple digits every now and then. And if he can locate and then command a slider combined with that high velocity fastball, he's pretty much unhittable. So expect him to finish most of the games when the Yankees have the lead. Zach Britton going to be in the setup role, has had a great career out of the bullpen. Pitched great last year for the Yankees, had a 1.6 ERA, only gave up 38 hits in 61 innings. Has that great bowling ball type sinker, which is so hard for hitters to hit, so hard for them to get it in the air, and they can only pretty much keep it on the ground. And that's kind of his bread and butter, that pitch, and expect him to hold things down in the 8th inning. I would say 7th inning, and that pecking order is probably going to be Adam Ottavino. Had a great year last year, his first year in New York, coming over from the Rockies. And if you can pitch well in Coors Field, you can pretty much pitch well anywhere. And walk rate was a little higher than you'd like to see. He had given up 5.4 walks per every 9 innings, but he was able to get out of trouble and neutralize things. Has the good stuff, has that mid-90s fastball, good biting slider that kind of just breaks out of the strike zone at the last second. So has the stuff you like to see. As a local guy from Staten Island, so I'm sure there's some element that he feels comfortable pitching in New York. And to round out the bullpen, or the last few guys I'll touch on, don't really have defined roles in terms of an inning, are Chad Green, Tommy Kahnle, but they're still very important cogs in the machine. That is the Yankee bullpen, and expect them to do good things. They have good stuff similar to the other guys. I mean, most guys now have that high 90s fastball, and they have it too. Good secondary stuff. So, expect them to be good contributing members out of that bullpen. In the beginning of the video, I think the Yankees have the best team this year, personnel-wise, from top to bottom. Just have it all, from lineup, starting rotation, bullpen. Just so complete of a team. I don't see any way in which any team in the division takes them down, despite the parity that could be the 60-game season. So, similar to my last video, like with the Mets, I'm not going to give a prediction how I think the season's going to finish, but I will guarantee that I think they're going to win the division, win it pretty easily, and I think they have the makings of a team that can win the whole thing. So that's my video on the Yankees. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Video number 2 here on the Basic Thoughtonomics YouTube channel. But hope you guys enjoy your rest of the week. Hope you enjoy baseball's finally back. And Yankee fans, hope you enjoy Thursday. Cole versus Scherzer. Should be a lot of fun. And take care, guys, and have a great week.